Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here. This video was initially going to be a year-in review of the Oculus Quest, but rather than spending the next few minutes telling you why I love it, and repeating what I said in last year's video when I sold my Oculus Rift CV1, I'll instead be looking at 5 things I want to see the next version of the Oculus Quest do, in the process giving you some ideas as to what I liked about my Quest and what I think could do with some improvement. Good? Then let's kick this off. Number 1. Better wireless connectivity. In my year of owning an Oculus Quest, the amount of uses I've had for wireless connectivity have probably been the biggest pleasant surprise I've had with it. Whether it's streaming my gameplay to a TV to share the VR experience with friends, or using virtual desktop to play games from my PC on my Quest, the networking capabilities have been coming in very handy over this time. Of course, this has to be a smaller point on the list, as the Quest doesn't exactly have bad connectivity, and this factor can vary a lot based on the kind of situation you're in when it comes to networking. But having Wi-Fi 6 or even an option for an LTE or 5G Quest model would be a very nice thing to have, especially if we want to start getting accessories or functionality for using Quests outdoors more in the future. Number 2. More games and software. Ah yes, the ever-persistent desire for more. Despite only having a year on the market though, there are still quite a few fun titles and applications available already on the Oculus Quest. Whether it's Beat Saber for some quick fun, or chilling out watching some quality content on the web browser, there are quite a few things to do with your Oculus Quest if you're so inclined. I will say though, it is definitely behind the PC and console VR market at the moment when it comes to native titles, which have several titles available in them at this moment that you either can't play on the Quest, like Astrobot and Resident Evil 7, or that require you to use something like a link cable or virtual desktop to play, like Asgard's Wrath, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and Half-Life Alyx. I'd also like to see some more lightweight productivity applications on the Quest 2, since I've actually seen myself wanting to use my Quest to type up quick Google Docs or spreadsheets in my time of having it. The only option I've made work so far is using virtual desktop to stream my PC setup, but it's not quite ideal, and I prefer it if there were just better support for web apps and some built-in applications in the first place. Still, the very fact that there are options for getting access to more titles and software in the first place kind of lets you know that this is more a matter of time than it is of possibility. We're only a year into the Quest's life, and the rate at which major features like PC connectivity, hand tracking, interface changes, and pass-through UI backgrounds have been added makes me think that maybe there's no real need to worry on this front. Number 3. More powerful hardware. I'll be honest, I was expecting the Oculus Quest to be far worse than what it is when I first got it, seeing as it's operating on just a Snapdragon 835 as its processor. But it really surprised me. The higher resolution over the Oculus Rift CV1 and the better optics really left a good impression, and a lot of the games that have been well optimized for it can really have their moments when it comes to giving a sense of awe and visual splendor. Still, a mobile processor is a mobile processor, and I can't help but get PS2 vibes off of many of the games I play on my Oculus Quest. More advanced graphical features like shadows, reflections, and higher triangle counts are sorely missed from PC VR, and having a 72 frames per second refresh rate on the display was definitely a noticeable downgrade compared to the 90 Hz of the CV1 over time. There's no way to sugarcoat that reality, and the price had to be paid in order for the Quest to have the form factor and features that it does at this time. Thankfully, there's definitely hope on this end, as there are newer chips available for the Quest to use with more power if there are new models, and reports are already pointing towards the next Quest having a 90 Hz or greater refresh rate. While I don't expect a massive graphical leap from this change, if it can at the very least bring that whole PS2 impression I've been getting up till now towards something like the PS3 and allow the PC streaming stuff that I do at the moment to operate at a higher refresh rate, I'll be a happy camper. Number 4. Better ergonomics. One of the biggest strengths of the Oculus Quest is its ability to be used anywhere without the use of a tether. I've played in open warehouses, living rooms, bedrooms, and basements, and the experiences have been consistent in each of those scenarios. portability can really be said to be the greatest strength of the Oculus Quest, which is why it's unfortunate that it's not exactly the most comfortable VR headset out of the box to use. Having to put as much hardware on the front as they do, the Oculus Quest trends towards being a bit front heavy, and I'd be lying if I said I haven't felt that over the past year of using the device. There are comfort mods out there for making it more bearable, but the very fact people feel the need to make that kind of modification only highlights the problem. While it's definitely a worrying issue, I am hopeful that they'll be making improvements in this area, as I think increasing portability and comfort for the Quest line is a priority for Facebook Oculus and the direction that they're planning on taking this product line. The early reports on the so-called Del Mar unit also cite a 10 to 15% reduction in weight, which should go a long way towards making it feel more comfortable, though I'd imagine they're probably also evaluating the mods people are making and the response to other headsets in the market as well, in order to hopefully see a better strap and weight distribution design in the final product. Here's hoping that they really do manage to make a successful change in this front, especially if the contents of my final wish end up reflecting the direction that they're going for with the hardware. Which, of course, brings us to that final point. Number 5. Greater arena scale support. One of the biggest things I love about the Oculus Quest is its ability to adapt to how I want to play. Not needing tethers, base stations, or even controllers if we're pushing it, allows the Oculus Quest to adapt to just about whatever use case you have. The sheer versatility of it is so great that at times it feels like a hybridization of the experiences of AR and VR in a manner that no other piece of hardware before it has really quite elicited, in my opinion. It has a greater field of view for virtual content than AR headsets, but is more free and convenient to use how you want than VR setups. It stands alone, not only as a form factor, but as a pioneer for what I think will be a very different direction for the VR and AR technology paths. A next-gen Quest could very well have just enough power to start allowing for more arena-scale experiences that take advantage of real-world topology and begin to allow us to virtualize our real-world environments and have game design that use those environments to create amazing play experiences, like letting you turn your house into a horror game or a park into a battlefield. I'll concede here though that this isn't exactly going to help out AR or VR directly in pushing things forward. The hardcore of our VR gamers only care about greater immersion, and I'd say they're better off just working with VR Suite or pod tech in order to get better setups. And our biggest AR enthusiasts are probably better off looking at more AR glasses type tech, since that will allow them to be using their augmentations more safely without having to worry about what could be outside of the bounds. I don't think a Quest 2 is going to be able to fulfill on either of those things for either of those demographics. But honestly, if it comes at the price of the potential for its arena scale in the near term, I don't want it to. The way I see it, the Quest form factor has the potential to enable a gameplay experience unlike anything we've been able to enjoy before, and on a massive scale to boot. I shudder to imagine the hype I'd have for a Quest 2 or Quest Pro featuring a 90 to 120Hz dual OLED display, Snapdragon 865 or XR2 processor, 8+ gigs of RAM, 5G supporting models, Wi-Fi 6 connectivity, 15% lower weights with Halo straps, better browser functionality, and with Facebook money-backed versions of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Ordinal Scale, and or VR Oasis Chat. Sheesh! I'd pay over $1,000 for that. If they were crazy enough to put it at $400, I'd buy 3 of the darn things. Pardon the hype there, but I think it should be pretty clear. I love my Oculus Quest. It revitalized my interest in the goings-on of the VR medium at large, and it's making me look forward to seeing what's coming next for the form factor. And I've gotta say, if even half of the things I mentioned in this video end up coming true, I think we're all gonna be in for a pretty nice treat. Thank you very much for watching this video, everyone. Be sure to rate, comment, share, and subscribe so YouTube algorithm-sama brings you back here for more. Till next time, my fellow adventurers and dreamers, this has been Gregory, logging out.